Hi guys, so which are the top airdrops right now to farm completely for free? Obviously, except Verachain that we have already talked about. What I have done in the last week has been going through different projects. I have analyzed something like 20, 30 different projects, layer ones, and I have selected for you the four that I believe could be the best one and that are launching all of them into this Q1. Let me show you something. This is a table that I prepared for you. In this table, as you can see, I have selected different metrics and I have analyzed each project according to this metric. So what we will go through is about Aleo, Shardeum, Taiko, and also Omni Network. And for each of them, we will analyze all the metrics in order to come at the end at the final vote in order to understand if it is worth it or not to start farming also these airdrops. So stay tuned. Just before going through, guys, let me ask you something. As you can see, this is a list of topics that I want to talk about in this channel, but I want to know from you. Which is the topic that you want to heard about? Is it about Eigenlayer and why I believe that is not something that a degen or a person who want to maximize its own profit should be start using? Or you want to know more about the airdrop about Taika, Omni, Shardeum, or anything else, just write me into the comment section. Or maybe you want to know about trading and how to earn about 10% each week. Let me know, just write ABCD according to the option that you prefer into the comment section, and I will be start working on that immediately. And let me add also, guys, that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. And if you want to know more, also about DeFi, airdrops, and so on, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter and join our Discord and Twitter account. You can find all the links in the description below. So let's start with Aleo. What is about Aleo? So as you maybe know, Aleo is a layer one. So we're talking about a blockchain that is focused on ZK, is NARC, and everything that is about privacy. I don't know if you have been using their blockchain, but also in the moment when you're using it, you can decide which of your balance should be public, private. So it is really focused on making the experience of using DeFi and blockchain something that you can customize according to how private you wanna be. This project is pretty big, probably is the biggest one that is coming into the next couple of months. We are talking about something that has already raised about $228 million. When it comes to Twitter, we are talking about a project that has something like 247,000 of followers, and also on Discord they have something like 488 Discord members. But are these numbers good or bad? Well, obviously we are talking about something that is pretty big. 500,000 of people just in a Discord server, that's pretty a lot. Obviously, how it will be compared to the other ones, that's something that we will see immediately. Going to the part that is more interesting is about, do they have something like Galaxy or Zile? Well, the reality is that they have something, but it's not so active, and it's not the main topic of how to be qualified for their airdrop. It's still in testnet, so you can use it, but you have to pay attention to one thing. And I mean, as they said into their Discord, nothing is for granted. It's not just because you are using right now a testnet you will receive something in exchange. They said the testnet incentivized testnet has already finished, so that's something that has gone. Right now, everyone is waiting for mainnet that will come in a couple of months. They say the Q1, so we are getting closer to that. The point is that how they will manage the airdrop, because also when it comes to the tokenomics, they say literally nothing about the tokenomics. So we don't really know how they will distribute the airdrop. And most of all, there is another thing, guys. How the airdrop will be managed will be just for people who use the testnet, just for people who use the incentivized testnet, or there will be also for people who will be using the mainnet. That's something that we don't know. Honestly, if you ask me, I would rather prefer to see something like an airdrop after the mainnet. So exactly as we have seen with Arbitrum, ZK Sync, Scroll, and so on. It's not just because a Scroll has gone to the mainnet that a snapshot and the airdrop has come immediately. The airdrop will come into the next future. When? We don't know. My suggestion right now is use either way Aleo testnet just to have some kind of traction into a specific wallet. And if they will launch the mainnet without saying anything about the airdrop, just saying maybe it will come into the future, well, in that moment, it's a good idea to start farming also the Aleo mainnet. But either way, having also transactions on the Aleo testnet, well, that's something that could be worth it. Personally, I will not farm from now on Aleo testnet. Just to have a couple of transactions, that's fine, but that's something that could take you like half an hour just to show that you were there. Do at least, I don't know, 5 to 10 transactions. That's fair enough. And after that, wait for the mainnet. I will share with you the vote about Aleo just at the end of the full analysis of the 4 projects that I have selected for you into this video. Before going on, guys, please don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up, drop a comment to the comment section. Let me know also what do you want to see as the next video. That's so important for us also to help other people to understand how the airdrops are working and which is the best one to start farming right now. Okay, let's go on with the next one. It is Shardeum. As you can see, it's about sharding. It means that it's about scalability. As we know, one of the biggest problems of blockchain is that they got congested. Congested means that there are too many requests of transactions compared to the ability of the blockchain to process that kind of number of transactions. Sharding simply means that instead of having to process one transaction at a time, the system is able to process as many transactions as they want at the same time. It works in parallel, so instead of having just a bottleneck, you can create as many paths as possible, as much as you need. That's something that will be implemented also in Ethereum. Will take still another couple of years, probably maybe less. Sharding it's something that it's a work in progress, but we don't know when it will be released. On the other side, I was lucky to be able to talk also with the founder of Shardeum, and one thing that I asked to him is that, which is the difference between the sharding of Shardeum and what Ethereum can do, for example, what Near was able to accomplish so far. What he said is that one story is building something that is native, it is thought to be really sharding. Another thing is adding something that, yes, could speed up the process, but will never be able to shard and to scale at that speed. And that's true for sure. The big point, at least that's what I'm wondering, is that this kind of technology is something that is evolving fast. And nothing prevents also other blockchains to start going into this direction. Personally speaking, I like Shardeum as a technology, and I like the idea of having finally a native sharding system. It will be the first one if Shardeum will be able to release it in mainnet, and if it will be able also to scale for real. Because obviously, one story is saying that you can scale up at infinite, another story is seeing it in action working. Obviously, if they will be able to go through a stress test and scaling for real, well, that's a big thing. They already raised something about 20 million, according to my sources, about 23 million. For what I know from the chats with the founder of Shardeum, they want to reach 50 million of that's the target before going to mainnet. Anyway, more announcements, if it will be the case, will come soon. Let's see the metrics about social. So, followers. Followers, as you can see, it's about what we have seen already with Aleo. If we check also Discord, it is pretty interesting because Discord looks that is bigger. So that's something to be noticed, because even if the project is smaller, and Shardeum is much smaller, at least in fundraising, compared to Aleo, it's something 10x of difference. That's pretty a lot. From a social point of view, it is better. Right now, they are not doing much on Zilli and Galaxy. They say that they will reward also people who are participating into the social activities. But to be fair, from one side, the kind of rewards looks that will not be so generous. On the other side, yes, there is not really an official path when you can do actions and be rewarded for that. Which is the current state of the art? Well, they are about to launch the first phase of an incentivized testnet. So if you want to use that, if it's not yet started, it will start into the next couple of days. Just check their Twitter account or Discord. That's something that I highly recommend to do either way if you want to have any kind of possibility to be rewarded. On the other side, be aware that the rewards are not so much dedicated to the testnet. This is just a small part. I think if I'm just recalling correctly, should be about 10% of all the rewards that will be distributed through the airdrop. The airdrop will go through 3 phases because the big difference compared to what we have seen, for example, with Aleo, is that we already know the exact allocation for the airdrops, and it's about 5%. The last one that is about when it will be released on mainnet, that as you can see from here, it's about Q1. So again, the testnet will start right now, and at the end of the testnet will be the launch of mainnet. And the mainnet, that's something that will reward you too. We don't know if it will be through like a points system or simply like ZK sync scroll. I still believe it will go into that direction. And that's the same direction that I hope to see also Aleo going. Either way, also in this case, if you want to participate to the testnet, that's super fine, but the rewards are pretty small. And if you're not a heavy user, you will not be receiving so much. Either way, I highly encourage you, use it. Use it to at least a couple of actions, couple of transactions, 10, 15, or whatever in different days. Because also on the other side, what they said is that in order to make it more fair, what they will do also is rewarding people random. So among the people that reach a minimum threshold, could be, I don't know, 10 transactions or whatever, they will select a couple of them. The number is still not clear yet. If you want to know more, check their Medium account. There are many information about the airdrops already. And maybe you can be lucky and be rewarded for that. Also, on the other side, it will also reward validators and people who run a node. Anyway, in my opinion, that's a good idea, farming Shardeum, but at the same time, the juicy part will come when they will launch the mainnet. Okay, let's go on. Taiko. Taiko is about, again, ZK. So it's about ZK rollups, and that's something that could be like a ZK sync. That is another about ZK scroll. As you can see, there are many players that are trying to go into that direction. How and who will be the big winner? Really, too early to be said. There is a big difference when it comes to Taiko compared to Aleo. Obviously, the funding is much lower, but the interesting part is about their social metrics that are pretty impressive, to be fair. As you can see, they have something like 3 times their followers on Twitter, and at the same time, when it comes to Discord, it's about almost 800,000, so pretty a lot. And everything is due mainly, at least that's my personal opinion, because they have been pretty active when it comes to Galaxy and Zilli. That's a project is releasing constantly new quests, new NFTs, new art that will be distributed only to the people who are ending the task on Galaxy. Maybe it's more transparent, maybe it's a little bit overcrowded, because obviously the tasks are not so difficult. But at the same time, I like to see that everything is accountable. So you can check which activities you have done, how many points you have collected, and so on. I highly encourage you, if you want to be qualified for Taiko, start using their Galaxy Quest. Specifically, right now, they are launching the Alpha 6, that is also the last testnet. That's something that shouldn't be yet live in the moment when you are watching this video, but check their Discord and Twitter account because it will be live soon. Either way, what you can do right now is simply going to Galaxy, go to Spaces, write Taiko, and you will find the official account that, as you will see, it has something like 300,000 people, so pretty a lot. At the same time, I want to add also another thing. 300,000 people that are using Galaxy, that's a lot. But at the same time, if you think about airdrops like ZK Sync, Layer Zero, and so on, we have seen literally millions of wallets competing for the same airdrop. Seeing around 300,000, well, that's pretty interesting. If I'm correct, Taiko has also added a passport system or a way either ways to avoid CBIL, so people who are fake accounts. So pay attention that in order to maximize your opportunities and your points, you have also to complete that step, and that's something that I highly encourage you to do. Mainnet, when it will be launched, it should be launching right now. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about Airdrop. We don't know anything about the tokenomics. We just know that they are close about launching. Again, I don't know if considering how many quests and how many tasks they have been releasing through the testnet, if they will be releasing the airdrop just before the mainnet. That's something that we don't know. We only know that the mainnet will come soon, and the best trick that you can start acting now is use their testnet and complete the task on Galaxy. I believe that part will have a role much more important than other things. So at least that project could take in account more what happened on Galaxy than other projects. Because one thing that I was telling you also in my previous video, how to approach an airdrop and how you should select an airdrop. And if you want to know more about that, check it out into the right corner here. And I have made a video about that. And I'm pretty skeptical about using Galaxy because most of the time projects are not rewarding so much. In this case, it looks that it could be different. Going to the last project, it is about cross-chain, because Omni Network is about cross-chain. And again, guys, I know cross-chain right now seems not so cool, maybe even small as a niche. The reality is that any kind of protocol, any kind of application that is run on a blockchain will need a cross-chain infrastructure. So we have seen already Zeta Chain launching just recently. Omni Network will be another one. So take in account that because it could be literally really useful and really important. Also from the funding point of view, they raised about 18 million. As you can see also from all the projects, 18 million, yeah, it's much less than the other ones, but at the same time, well, 80 million, that's a lot, guys. Raising 80 million means having already an FDV that is about 100, 200 million pre-market. So it means that in the moment when it will be launched, probably it will be already at about 1 billion at least. And one of the ways to decide if a project could be worth it or not to farm is obviously how big is the FDV, the fully diluted valuation. And all of these projects will have a big FDV. Let's see their social metrics. So when it comes to Twitter, they have about 366. When it comes to Discord, about 400. And the same of Taiko, they are also pretty active on Zilli. Which is the current state of the other project. Also, exactly as Taiko, they are about to launch the last testnet. Again, Taiko and Omni are following the same kind of path in terms of strategy, in terms of how to engage with users. And that's something that is pretty interesting because for both of them, the Galaxy and the Quest are playing an important role, and all of them are close to the launch of the mainnet that should be happening, if not at the end of this Q1, just the beginning of the Q2, so April worst scenario. I know that many of you are hoping to receive the airdrop just at the launch of the mainnet, and that's fully understandable. Personally speaking, I have some kind of mixed feeling because from one side, yes, it's better because it's completely free. Just using a testnet doesn't cost us nothing. But on the other side, well, obviously, if it is just on testnet, well, the competition will be much higher, maybe too many addresses. Maybe it's not even clear the real path on how to earn points or how to qualify. If they are considering also mainnet, well, probably that's something that could also be a boost. Why? Because maybe if you're doing testnet and mainnet, well, that's the kind of combo that can be really rewarding for you. And maybe at the same time, it could be the case that they are launching when the market will be much more in a bull run, much more sustainable. What we have seen right now, it's an incredible run, but it's not yet a bull run. There is nobody into this industry. Just check on Google Trends and you will see that crypto, Bitcoin, nobody is looking for these kind of words on Google. And that's something that's impressive. We are just the beginning. And the better will be seeing this project launching at the peak in order to make more money, in order to receive an airdrop that can pump at the moment of the launch, instead of seeing something like what we have seen with Stark and just the other day that was dumping by 40-50% in matter of a couple of hours. Okay, let's say right now the votes, or at least which is my personal opinion about each project. So let's reveal them. As you can see, Aleo is receiving just a 7 plus, and it's the lowest vote they have been giving to these projects. Not because I don't think that Aleo will be a massive airdrop, or at least it has the potential to be. 200 million of fundraising means an FTV that should be really high. At the same time, I'm skeptical because I didn't like much the answers that they gave on Discord. Maybe at the moment of the launch of the mainnet, everything will be more clear. Right now, I wouldn't spend time on farming this airdrop. I will simply do a couple of transactions on their testnet just to see that I have been using it like a proof. On the other side, I will wait to the launch for the launch of the mainnet. Going to my third position, it's Taiko. I love Taiko because they have been pretty massive in terms of social activity and everything. The reason why I'm putting it into the third position is because there are still many question marks. We don't know how they will be managing the airdrop. We don't know if the airdrop will be happening at the launch of the mainnet. And also, as you can see also from the social metrics, the level of competition is pretty high. It means that whatever is the pie that in my opinion should be, if we have to compare like Shardeum, Taiko or Omni, most of them should have the same fully diluted valuation. That probably would be like 1 billion, 2 billion, something like that at the moment of the launch. Maybe they are surprising us changing it with a higher or lower valuation, but that should be the kind of proxy. And obviously, the more people are participating to that pie, so the more that pie should be divided, and the smaller obviously will be your error. So that's the reason why I'm a little bit skeptical, but obviously, as you can see, all the votes are pretty close, mainly because it's just about the kind of flavor that maybe you can like it more in a moment, but the thing can change pretty fast. Right now, I have that kind of feeling, yes, I love Taiko, could be massive, but I want to know more. What I highly encourage you, do the Galaxy task that will come out in these days, qualify for that, fill also the passport part in order to not be a civil, and let's wait to see what happens. Going to the second position, it is Shardeum. The reason why I put it into the second position is because, one, the tech. If it works, that's massive. And that's something that is really innovative. Second, at least we have clear on how the airdrop it will be working. Yes, 5% is not insanely big, but it's decent. And we know that most of it will go to people who will be using the mainnet. So it means, yes, let's use the testnet just to have points that you never know. Maybe it will work like having a boost. We don't know at the end how the real calculation will be happening. But let's focus our effort on the mainnet. First position is Omni, and the answer is pretty easy. As you can see, the metrics that they have in terms of social are much lower. It means less competition. It means that less people are farming it. Less people, more airdrop for us. Obviously, as always, everything can change. It would be enough that instead of giving like 5%, they will be giving just 2% of airdrop. and it will be not worth it anymore, or the opposite. If any of these projects will be giving more in percentage in terms of the airdrop, well, that would be massive. So my suggestion is follow all of them, because are some of the biggest ones that are among the upcoming airdrops. Use their testnet, do transactions, at least 10 guys, 10 transactions, use at least 5 different protocols, and you're good to go. If you want to farm more, well, even better. But we are aware that this is the kind of limit minimum threshold that you have to do. If it's possible, guys, not just a single day, but if you can do like 1 to 5 days, it would have been better. Okay, let me know, guys, which is your favorite one, and expect for the second part of this video, because I have prepared other 4 projects, mostly unknown or underfarmed, that could be interested for you to be following. Guys, thank you for following me. Don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment in the comment section, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye, guys.